Welcome to today's practice. So just working with a flow today. I'm focusing as much on our transitions as we do on our postures. So it's all well and good to kind of be mindful when you come into a posture and you're there and you're focusing on your breath. But what's happening when you're moving in between the postures? Are you still able to stay mindful and present with what you're doing? So let's come to child's pose, back edge of your mat. Let's bring the big toes together. You can have the knees together if you want a more supported child, or apart if that feels okay for you. Forehead down onto your mat. And then just starting to connect to your breath. If your forehead doesn't comfortably come down onto your mat, then you can pop a block or a cushion underneath for some support. Just taking some time to begin to connect to each breath. I apologise if the traffic sounds loud. You've got the window open, it's really hot in here today. So once you're connected to your breath, perhaps see if you can come up onto tentative fingers. You start to get a little bit into the shoulders. Keep lengthening the tailbone back behind you, heavy in the hips. A couple more breaths. And then take your palms back down onto the mat. Use your next inhale to come up onto all fours. And bring your knees underneath your hips. Just a couple of rounds of happy cat, angry cat. Let's tuck the toes while we're doing it. So inhale, you're going to lift the chin and the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale, draw the heart forwards, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. And take a few more, just in your own time, in your own breath. Let's take one more. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. And then come back through to a flat back. We're going to untuck the toes. Take the hands further out in front of you and draw your heart down towards the mat. So keep the hips stacked over the knees and coming through into melting heart. You can have the forehead down on the mat. Again, if you wanted a prop underneath, you could do that. And you could, if it felt okay for you, even come onto your chin. But just be mindful of your neck if you do that. Just gently toning through the pelvic floor, through the lower abdomen. And then use your next inhale, walk the hands back in towards you, back up onto all fours. And then start to circle your right knee. So nice big circles as you get into the hip socket. Take it both directions. And then as you inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. And I'm just going to heel toe not heel toe really, is it? Just edge my right foot a little bit further forward. And then just come into some movement. So inhale, heart draws forwards. Exhale, hips back. Inhale to draw it forwards. Exhale to take it back. Couple more. The next time you come forward, we'll stay there. Bring the left hand down to the mat underneath your left shoulder. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling. Just easy twist here. Reach the crown of the head towards the front edge of the mat. You can take the right arm up towards the ceiling or just drop the hand down to the waist, draw back, open through the right shoulder. Okay, inhale, bring it back through to centre, take the right foot back, bring the left foot forwards. Same thing. You want to have your knees stacked over your ankles, so have the foot out far enough in front that you can do that. So inhale, heart forwards. Exhale, let's take it back. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. So mindful as you move through your practice. Aware of each breath. The breaths between the poses as well as the poses themselves. Take one more. The next time you come forwards, we'll stay there. Right hand out, left arm up towards the ceiling. And again, you can just drop the hand down to the waist if you wanted. Maybe open back a little bit more through the left shoulder. Okay, bring the left hand back down. Tuck your right toes. We'll step back into downwards facing dog. So just pad out the feet here. I know what I've done, my calves are really, really stiff at the moment. So just feel your way into your body. Keep your knees bent if you need to. And then use your next inhale, walk your feet forward toward your hands. I'm going to find a dangling forward bend there. And you might have a little bit of sway backwards and forwards. You might just take it from side to side, just bending the knees as you go. A couple more breaths. And then release your arms down. I'm going to round my spine up through to standing because that feels quite nice to me, but if you prefer to come up with a flat back, then do that. Just coming up mindfully. So once you're through to upright, just roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Time again forwards. And you might do a couple of neck rolls, bringing chin to chest, and then moving over to the side. And then come back through to centre. So take your left hand onto your waist, and pick up the right leg in front of us. Just have a couple of breaths here, drawing your right thigh in towards your chest, and see if you can take your right hand to your waist. So you're just using the strength of the leg to draw the thigh in. Standing up tall, take one more breath. I'm going to step this back into a high lunge, so soften your left knee, step your right foot back behind you. So adjust your feet as you need to, and once it feels okay, take your arms up alongside your ears. Just relax the shoulders and the face. And then split your arms out to the sides. We're going to twist to the left. So keep your left hip drawing forwards as you take your left arm back behind you. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. If it feels okay, drop the left hand to your right thigh. Take your right arm up towards the ceiling, lifting up through the heart centre. Ooh. Wobbly. One more breath. So come back through the twist, back through to centre, so you're back into that high lunge, and then step your feet back together, front edge of your mat. Soften your shoulders, same thing, so just draw your left leg up in front of you, draw your thigh in towards your chest, soften the shoulders, reach up through the crown of the head. And then you can just take your arms up here if you wish. You can bring the hands to prayer. Keep drawing that left leg in towards you. When you're ready, we'll gently step it back into the high lunge. So you take it back with control. And once you're ready to, if it feels okay, reach your arms up alongside your knees. Soften your shoulders. Split your arms out to the side, twisting right, so your left arm comes forward, your right arm goes back. Try and keep the right hip coming forwards as you do that. Fix your gaze on one spot. Strong legs. And then drop your right hand down to your right thigh and lift the left arm. Lift up through the heart centre. Keep breathing, mindful of each breath you take. Come back through the twist on your inhale. Bring it back through to centre, so you're back into your high lunge. And then use your inhale, step your left foot forward to join your right. Heel toe your feet so they're hip width apart. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, soften your knees and fold forwards there. And then you can either hold your shins, you can hook your peace fingers around your big toes. Whatever's comfortable for you. Long spine as you inhale, roll the shoulders away from the ears, and then as you exhale, draw forwards into your forward bend. Take a little bit of weight into the front of the feet. One more breath. And then inhale, look up, halfway lift. I'm going to soften the knees. Take the right hand to the waist. As you inhale, you're going to bring that left leg up in front of you. So you can choose to stay here with the knee bent, or you can straighten the left leg out. Try and drop the outer left hip down towards your mat. And you can have the right arm either up alongside the ear or out to the side if you want more help with your balance. Let's take that left leg out to the left-hand side. Now that right arm out to the side might help to counterbalance you. I haven't got space. If you can extend the right arm, do. Come back through to centre. And then we're going to bend the left knee and take the left leg out behind us. Now you can have our arms out to the side, so your flying dragon or Virabhadrasana 3, reach your arms out in front of you. And one more breath. You're going to soften the right knee and gently bring the left leg back in front of you, hopefully without placing it down on the mat. And exhale, left foot goes down. Okay. Feet hip width apart, we're coming back into that forward bend. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, exhale, fold forward. And this time, place your hands underneath your feet. So bend your knees as much as you need to. If you can work towards straightening the legs, then we will. Take a little bit of weight to the front of the feet. Just letting the crown of the head lengthen down with each exhale. And then inhale, look up, so flattening the back. Exhale, bend the knees, release the hands. You're going to hook the first two fingers around the right big toe, take the left hand to your waist, and as you inhale, we're going to lift up the right leg. So once you're up, you can stay here or you can straighten out the right leg. Drop the outer right hip down towards the mat. comfortably able to cheat here as I rest my right leg on the wall. So don't do that, make sure you've got enough space. Again, you can take the left arm alongside it in. You can counterbalance it out to the side. There's a lot going on outside today. Okay, inhale, bring it back through to centre. And then bend your right knee, and we're taking it back for Virabhadrasana 3. So either arms out to the side for your flying dragon version, or arms out in front for Warrior 3. Okay, take one more breath. Soften the left knee, and bring that right leg back in front of you. And then place the right foot back down onto your mat. Okay, give your legs a little bit of a shake. And then turn out to the left on your mats. Once you've done that, right foot out towards the front edge of your mat. We're going to come into a wide-legged Trikonasana. So inhale, reach out the arms, soften the right knee, and tip down to your right hand side. Once you're down, if you want to straighten the right leg, you can do. Again, you can bring that left hand to the waist. And can you then open a little bit more through the left shoulder? Try not to stick your bum out behind you. It's almost like the right hip is drawing underneath you. We'll take one more breath here. We're going to take it into a half moon pose. So soften the right knee. Right hand down in front of your right foot and a little to the right. And the left leg floats up behind you. You can take your left arm up towards the ceiling if that feels okay. And if you know this pose and want to add on, you could hold on to your left foot with your left hand. Keep opening through the chest. Now we're going to transition this into Malasana, our squat. So if you have a hold of your left foot, we'll release that first. You start to bend your right knee, left foot comes to the ground, straight down into Malasana. Couple of breaths. Soften through your shoulders. When you're ready, we're going to take this back into our half moon. So as you start to come up, right hand down again to the floor in front of your right foot, a little to the right. Left leg and arm reach up. I'm going to step it back into Virabhadrasana 2. So soften your right knee, left foot lands behind you, coming through into Warrior 2. Couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll pivot on the ball of the left foot, hands to frame the right foot, step it back, downwards facing dog. Couple of breaths there. If you want to find some movement, you can just move it out a little bit. You can just find stillness if you want the stillness. And then soften the knees. Look forward, you can step or you can jump the feet forward between the hands. Halfway lift there. As you exhale, fold in, head to legs. Enjoy your forward bend. And then use your next inhale, come all the way through to upright. Exhale, hands to heart. So we'll do the other side. Step out to the right on your mat. Parallel the feet and then turn the left foot out to face the front. Inhale to lengthen. Soften your left knee, tipping down for triangle, Trikonasana. And again, why not take the right hand to the waist, spin open through the right shoulder. If you don't want to look up, you can look forwards, or you can look down, thinking about tucking the left hip underneath you. And then lengthen the left hip towards the back edge of your mat. And take one more breath. Soften the left knee, we're going to find our way into that half moon. So left hand down in front of the left foot, lift to the left. Right leg floats up. Right arm reaches up if that feels okay. There is the option to hold on to the right foot with the right hand. Just gently kicking that foot away from you, opening through the chest. Okay, release the right foot. And then we're going to step it back, or sit it down really, into a squat. So stop to bend the left knee, right foot ground, come through into Malasana. I'm just going to turn around the book, so back to you. Couple of breaths. Stay connected to each breath you take. And then we're coming back into the half moon. So if I turn back this way first, then as you inhale, left hand comes down, right leg, right arm reach up. Back into Ardha Chandrasana. And then we'll step it back into Virabhadrasana too. So right foot lands behind you. Hopefully you caught your balance. Arms reach out. Ground through the feet. Strong in the legs. Take one more breath. And then pivot your hands down to frame your left foot. You're pivoting onto the board with the right foot. Step it back, downwards facing dog. Inhale, bring yourself forward through to plank, and then nice and slowly lower all the way to the ground. Hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come through into your back bend, cobra. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. Reach tall through the crown of the head, draw the heart forward. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, come all the way back down onto your mat. Wiggle your hips from side to side, and then find your way into your child's pose. Are you with your breath? Have you been able to stay with your breath throughout your practice? Use your next inhale. Come back up onto all fours. We'll tuck the toes downwards facing dog. And then take your feet a little bit wider. Maybe the toes will turn out a little bit. Start to bend your knees as you walk your hands back in towards you. Come back into that yogic squat. Take your left hand to the floor. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. If you want to stay there, then do. If you want to bind the hands around the left leg, you can. Open through the right shoulder. Inhale, bring it back through to centre. We'll do the other side. Right hand down, left arm reaches up. Again, there's the option to bind. And then inhale, bring yourself back through to centre. And just nice and gently sit yourself back down on your mat. And I'm just going to edge myself forwards a little bit. And come through into Navasana, my boat pose. So soften the shoulders. Now you can stay here with the legs bent and just keep the hands around the shins, or you can hop onto the big toe with the first two fingers, and if it feels okay, you can extend the legs. You might be able to let go of the feet, a couple of breaths, keep reaching up through the heart. And then I'm going to exhale it back, half boat. Squeeze in towards the midline. Use your next inhale. Bring yourself back up. Hands around the shins, take a breath. So just do that one more time. Keep the shoulders and the face nice and relaxed. Your choice, you can stay here, you can hook the big toes and extend the legs. Maybe you can start to draw the feet in towards you. Maybe you can let go with the hands. And then we'll exhale it, half fold. So it tips the shoulder blades and flip away from the floor. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, all the way back down to your back. Bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop open. Let's have a few breaths here. You can just gently rock the pelvis from side to side. And then come into some stillness. Let your shoulders drop down towards your mat. Connect back through to your breath. And take a moment to reflect on how much you are able to stay present through your practice. Were you able to stay with the breath in the poses and in the moments between poses where you move from one to the next? And can you have the intention to keep working with that as you move through your practices? So that you are as present as possible in each and every moment. And can you take that out into the world with you? Take your hands behind your thighs, draw your knees in towards each other. And then just gently, one at a time, bring your knees in towards your chest. A little rock from side to side. And then just straighten out your legs. Find your way into your Shavasana. Closing the eyes. Focusing a little bit more on your exhale here. Allowing the weight of your body to drop down. And as always, stay here for as long as you need to. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.